computer. Okay, cool. Perfect.
Yay!
That was honestly the most stressful 10 minutes of my life. And then Eden, when we got off the phone, Sam's mission buddy is calling me that he went on a mission with 12 years ago. And he's like, I want to go to Australia. Can you help me like book a ticket? I'm like, I'm not a travel agent and I cannot right now. I will call you in an hour.
I love it. All the things just happened in 10 minutes and we were frantically just trying to get it together, but we did. We're only 5 minutes behind. It's fine.
We're fine. We're here till next Tuesday. It's great. Okay, well, let's like dive into Bogos. This is so fun. And we try to keep these short and sweet so that it doesn't like take up your whole evening, because some of you, it's like 9:30 where Eden was, and she was asleep before she comes too. She called me, she's like, I just woke up. I'm like,
I literally fell asleep. I do meditations with my kids at night. Well, I've just been doing that for like the last couple weeks, which has been amazing. And we all fell asleep to it. And Rio was asleep on my chest. And I woke up and I was like, oh, what time is it?
How awesome would it have been if you would have woke up tomorrow morning at like 7:30 and then you're like, I missed the Bogo breakdown.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. But we're here. We all got it together. But we're so excited.
And so use the chat. So if you have questions, use the chat. We'll all be a part of the chat tonight. And not just one person is talking about the oils tonight. It's a bunch of us, which will be awesome. So I'm going to start sharing my screen with you guys. And I hope nothing that we shouldn't see is on here right now. Hashtag convention conversations. No one will get that other than Whitley and Peyton and Tylo and Eden and Jesse. Okay, so gosh, where do we even like begin?
Well, this is so good. I like doTERRA does Bogos a couple times a year, and this Bogo was honestly like one of my favorites. It has some really awesome oils. Whether you're a beginner or you have like oils in your collection and you wanted to branch out a little bit, it has a mix of both. And so I was really, really excited about this Bogo. And it seemed like so many people were too. We've added so many people to our community, which is awesome. It's so awesome. And yeah, we're just going to break down literally every single oil super quickly to give you a couple ideas of how to use them, because we don't want any of your oils going to waste ever. That's like what we stand by. We don't want any of your oils to go to waste.
Yeah. And Bogos are so fun. I know we're going over them right now tonight, but when you hear about Bogos dropping in the future, there will probably be another one like in March or oh, sorry guys. I don't know who just had to mute themselves. Like put it on your calendar and like even start saving up for it, because it's great to have Bogos because there's like regular oils, like beginner oils, like On Guard, Breathe, Wild Orange, Copaiba. But then there's really great kind of not so heard about oils. Would you guys agree? Like Roman chamomile, black spruce, Northern Escape, cassia, where you get to experience new oils. So we're just going to dive right into them. And a couple of us are going to talk about them. We're going to take turns talking about them, which is so fun. So let's go. Let's kind of just scroll through this. The first couple is On Guard and Breathe. And Peyton, are you ready to like take over the floor for a second and share with everyone about On Guard and Breathe? So for those of you who don't know, hold on, people are trying to get in really quickly. I'm just letting them in. So for those of you who don't know, everyone here on the call, like I'm Sydney, I'm Outback Sheriffs. We're all part of the Outback community. And Peyton, who's sharing with us next, is the Essential Club. She's one of the most amazing leaders in the Outback community. And so Peyton, do you want to just kind of like talk about On Guard and Breathe for a second?
Yeah. Okay. So I'll start with On Guard. On Guard is the protective blend. I feel like is one of doTERRA's most talked about oils. A lot of people love On Guard and use On Guard. And I love it because there's so many ways that it can support your body. So it's the protective blend. It is a way to support your immune system. The first time anyone's like, okay, what oils do you recommend? And it's a battle between On Guard and like peppermint for me. Those are the two that I'm like, okay, if you're going to choose one or two, do On Guard or peppermint, because there's so much that it can do for you. So On Guard is a way to protect your body from viruses, bacteria, germs, help your body fight off any kind of sickness that it comes in contact with, and to help the air in your home be clean and kill any of those airborne pathogens. Okay, so some of my favorite ways that I love to use On Guard is just by simply diffusing it, and diffusing it just all on its own. I love to diffuse it at night when we're sleeping, so that all night long we're breathing in all the goodness. And it's great if you like have kids that are at school, or kids that are going to preschool, or like gym, daycare. Diffuse it as soon as you get home, or right before your kids get home from school. And the second they get home, all of that On Guard will be able to, like, they can inhale and breathe it and help their bodies fight off all the germs that they came in contact with. So
Hey, and I'm going to interrupt you really quickly because this is a fun gift to give, especially teachers. Like if you got a really fun, affordable diffuser off of Amazon, maybe like the doTERRA portable diffuser, if they're back in stock, or you find another great brand of diffuser that's a little like pretty affordable, and you gift a little bottle of On Guard to your kids' teachers or their preschool teacher or anybody. I did that for Bill's preschool teacher like 2 or 3 years ago, and she was so appreciative of it, and she had it going all the time. And it's just a really fun way to give, like, during the gift giving season.
Yeah, that's so smart. I love that. One more thing about On Guard. The other day, Tuesday night, after I teach dance, and after I got done, I was like, oh, I'm feeling tired, but like a little extra tired than normal, like I'm like, okay, I can tell my body is trying to fight something. Immediately, I started taking On Guard in an empty veggie capsule. If you don't know what empty veggie capsules are, you can get them from doTERRA, but it's just an empty capsule that you add your oils into so that you can take them internally. And On Guard is one of the oils that is safe to take internally. And it's been Tuesday night, Wednesday, and I've done it like 3 times a day consistently. And today I don't feel tired. I can tell my body is not trying to fight sickness anymore. Like On Guard quickly just like revamped my immune system, and I was ready to go. So I love On Guard.
It's
Hey,
amazing.
Peyton, you share super quickly, just for new people, how they can tell if an oil is safe to be used internally or not. And I can hold them up for you as you go up from.
Oh, yes, you have them all right there. Perfect. So yeah, some oils are safe to ingest and some are not. The way that you can tell is on the label, it will say supplement facts. So there's On Guard and it says supplement facts right there. That means it is safe to ingest. If it doesn't have that, you don't want to take it internally.
Here's Breathe. So it'll just have like a list of ingredients, no supplement fact box.
So Breathe, you won't want to take internally.
Also, so this ebook that we're like scrolling through right now, it's so long, we would never go through all of these pages because there's like 4 pages for each oil. Please DM whoever community you're part of, or whoever gave you the link to this class, and they'll send you this awesome little ebook.
Okay, Breathe. Okay, I'll talk about Breathe really quickly. I've also really loved Breathe this week because I've been so congested, and Breathe is the respiratory blend. It's a blend of oils, like all the minty oils, peppermint, eucalyptus, like all those oils that will just like clear your nostrils. So Breathe is great for clearing your airways, helping with congestion. You can dilute it with coconut oil and rub it on your chest if you or your little kids are having a cough or congestion. My favorite way to use Breathe, and I shared this last night on my Instagram too, but I love to have the most like spa bougie shower with my Breathe. And you get your shower nice and warm and steamy, and then take your oil of Breathe and drop it on the bottom. I even like to like flick it on the walls just like to get it so steamy. And then you just stand in the shower and breathe in the Breathe, and it clears your airways and it feels so good. Yeah, I love Breathe. And Breathe not only supports clearing your airways, congestion, but it's really great for sleep. So I love to diffuse it at night because it's like a 2-for-1. It helps you get really great sleep, help your body calm down before you go to bed, and all night long, it's gonna clear your airways and help with these seasonal threats, especially right now as we go into the winter months.
Also, Breathe is so good to be using on your littles. Like 1 drop is plenty. So if you do even just 1 drop in your palms and dilute it with rosehip or jojoba or coconut oil and rub it on their back where their little lungs are after their bath time or over their chest. This is just the season for RSV and the horrible coughing that little kids can get. And so even just using it preventatively every night and on guard preventatively every night, it's just absolutely magic.
Yes. And if you are just starting with essential oils and just starting to use them on your kids and you don't really feel comfortable, like, I don't know how many drops, reach out to whoever invited you here or who you got your kit through. And we can send you a dilution guide so that you feel comfortable, like knowing how many drops to use on your kids, what's safe, what's not. So I feel like that's always a concern at first, but they're all totally safe for kids as long as you dilute correctly.
Yeah, they're so good. Okay, what are the next oils? All right, cassia. Cassia is one that I only started using last year. And so if you've used cassia before, I want to hear in the chat like how you've used it. I know Whitley has so many amazing diffuser blends with cassia, but it was one last year that I was like, I want to start using cassia because I saw it in so many good diffuser blends. And then as soon as I started diffusing cassia with other essential oils like wild orange and northern escape, which I'll talk about in a minute, I started to fall in love with it. I couldn't believe how good it smelled, how warming it is. It is such an incredible essential oil. And I had no idea that cassia was good for digestion and your immune system. So cassia, I believe, is part of On Guard. I'm almost 100% sure. I can't remember if it's just cinnamon and On Guard or cassia is in there as well. But cassia is kind of part of that cinnamon family. So it's going to help with your immunity. It's going to thwart off viruses. It's great to put in your non-toxic cleaning spray that you're making with On Guard and your On Guard cleaner concentrate. But another great way that you can use cassia is in a smaller spray bottle. Fill your spray bottle with water or witch hazel. Do like 10 drops of cassia and 15 drops of wild orange and even maybe a couple drops of On Guard. And it smells like a really good Christmas, but like a fresh Christmas in a bottle. If you're like me and some of the seasonal scents just kind of turn you off sometimes, this is a more fresh seasonal smell. Also, cassia is really good for like your glucose levels. And I had no idea about that either until I started reading up on cassia last year. Since it's in that cinnamon family, it helps with the sugars that replicate inside your cells. So it can help with glucose levels, which I thought was incredible. And there is a 10 ways to use cassia right here. So when you get this ebook, make sure you screenshot this because these 10 ways to use cassia, I've been using them for the last week or two since I got my Bogo box and they've been helping a lot. Like number 9, apply diluted to the abdomen for menstrual cramps. I'm totally trying that next month. That's amazing. And then here's some diffuser blends, which are so, so good. Okay, we're going to keep scrolling down. I'm telling you, this ebook is amazing. Okay, so wild orange. I could talk for 900 years about wild orange because it's so amazing. But wild orange in your water, if you haven't tried it, like in your water bottle, make sure it's stainless steel or glass. It has helped my energy levels so much. So any of your citrus oils are going to bring a lot of energy into your life. It's going to provide a lot of mental clarity. It's going to provide really great digestion. So if you do just 2 or 3 drops in your water or in a veggie capsule, that helps your energy levels throughout the entire day. And so many people are still trying to get in. Wild orange also helps with heart health. And on like a spiritual side of things, wild orange helps your heart chakra. So when you're feeling those hard feelings of being bogged down, super discouraged, like you have no motivation, rubbing wild orange over your heart and like your chest. I've been doing that during my yoga practice. And it actually, I've noticed a huge difference during certain like hard and like heavy seasons of my life. Does anyone else have ways that they use wild orange? Eden, I know you use it so much too.
Yeah. Fawn, who's actually my cousin, she just wrote in the chat that she likes to put it with balance and rub it on her feet and rest every morning. And I love that. I
Oh,
said,
Whitley just said protein shakes too.
yeah. I love wild orange. I feel like wild orange is one of those like OG oils. Like, I've used oils forever, but when I finally got my own account, it was like wild orange and peppermint. That's like what I use for everything. Um, and like you said, citrus oils are very uplifting, and just wild orange is the OG of that. It's from the
Yeah.
fruit of the tree. It's going to help raise your vibrations. And maybe that's kind of the more oogie boogie side of essential oils that not everybody is like, on board with. But for me, all of these oils have such an amazing energy and vibration about them that can just totally help your mind and your spirit and your emotions and your physical body, which is so cool. So to know that we can reach for wild orange when we're dealing with something heavy or we feel overwhelmed, and it can just help raise our vibrations and promote those feelings of joy in our life is just so incredible. So diffuse your wild orange, take it internally, rub it on your wrists as perfume. And when you are having those hard days, just like breathing it in whenever you can.
Mm-hmm. And I know that we learn so much on social media, and we learn so much when we go over, 10 oils like this all together as a community. So one thing that I've been trying to do when I get on these education hours, whether it's a BOGO box or, another topic that we have going, is I've been trying to write down just 2 bullet points on each topic or each essential oil or each something that we talk about. And then I have it on the notes in my phone. And then I go and try and incorporate those 2 bullet points throughout the entire next week or 2. And that's been helping me so much, because sometimes during a environment like this, you're getting so much and one thing goes in your ear and it's so easy for it to go out. Like you can only absorb so much. So even just committing to 1 or 2 bullet points in your life to apply those with each essential oil or thing we're talking about, I notice has helped me. So that's kind of like a little tip too. Randy just said wild orange with your yogurt. And I've never done that before, and I want to go do that now. Okay, our next one should be Roman chamomile. And Whit, I think, no, yeah, you have Roman chamomile. I've got my list right here. Are you good to talk about Roman chamomile for a second, Whitley?
Yes. Sorry, that took a second. I was trying to figure out how to unmute myself.
It's hard sometimes.
Guys, Roman chamomile. Okay, I brought it up here because I just need to breathe it when I'm talking about it. I don't know why. Anyway, if you've never smelled Roman chamomile, I hope you have, since we got the BOGO box, but maybe some of you got individual BOGOs and missed out on this. So I'm going to tell you why you missed out and how much it's so good. So this is distilled from like flowers like daisies. It smells like the most beautiful flower garden in the entire world. I use Roman chamomile personally for my little boy who has eczema. I put it in a blend, and I also use it at night in my kids' diffusers because it does, right here on the screen, you can read that it has that ability to calm your body. And my kids love it when they smell it. Like, it's exciting to smell flowers, right? And so when my kids smell it, they're like, oh my gosh, it smells so good. And I'm like, yeah, breathe it in, babies, because I want them to like relax, It's also really good for like feelings of anxiousness, feelings of sadness, feelings of overwhelm. So Roman chamomile is a really good one to turn to, especially this holiday season when you might be feeling a lot of things. Throw this in your diffuser and let it go when you're like in the kitchen or in their living room, wherever you are. Another thing for Roman chamomile is it's, like I mentioned, with the dry skin, and this came with the black spruce and copaiba, which are also really good for your skin. So I love that doTERRA paired these together in the BOGO box for that reason.
Roman chamomile, I think, smells like this really soothing nighttime dream. Does anyone else feel like that?
I want to lick it too. Like, it's just
okay.
so
Okay, we can lick it.
sweet.
That's totally fine.
It has a supplement fact box on it, so you can lick it if you want to.
You want to know what? Have you tried taking it internally, Whitley?
No, I haven't.
You haven't?
No, I should though.
I tried taking vetiver one. No, it was Hawaiian sandalwood internally because it also had a supplement factor, and I was like asleep for 4 days. So I'm like, I can't take Hawaiian sandalwood internally.
Roman chamomile, that was the other thing. It's good for insomnia. So like, it is good when you're diffusing it for like your children or on the bottoms of their feet. But even for like grown adults, if you have insomnia and you have a hard time relaxing and falling asleep because you have like anxious thoughts or whatever it is, Roman chamomile is your girl. And Peyton said that I always want to lick or eat my oils, and that could not be more truthful about me. If you don't know
I
me.
add something real quick about Roman chamomile.
Yes.
So, I always love books on oils, right? So, what's Amanda's book called? Essential Emotions, right? Essential Emotions? Is that what it's called? Anyways, I love that book so much. If you don't have it, you should get it. I was actually using Roman chamomile a lot before the Bogo. And so when I saw it was in the Bogo, I was like, oh my gosh, like how cool, because I've actually really been incorporating this into my life. At the top of the screen, it said that it was for spiritual purpose. Like it kind of has like an emotion tied to each essential oil. And I've been using Roman chamomile because just in my personal life and my family, we've been dealing with a lot of like frustration. And so in this book, you can look up a word that you're feeling, whether it's like frustrated or angry or sad or whatever the emotion is that you're feeling. And it's going to give you some essential oils to use. So the word that I was just connecting with was frustrated. And Roman chamomile was one of the oils that was on that list. So I have been doing affirmations and breathing in Roman chamomile. So I loved how it also said it's like the spiritual purpose as well. So when you're like feeling frustrated, you're breathing in this Roman chamomile that's going to fill you with your spiritual purpose. So I just think that's so cool. It's something that I've been using. And so if you are ever feeling frustrated, reach for your Roman chamomile.
Okay, also with what you said it, like with this whole topic right now, stability and emotions. And then earlier you were like, it can be on the woo-woo side of things. And I understand that. And I think there's so many people here tonight, even that we're on different levels of using essential oils. I'm all about woo-woo. Like, let's get down to the nitty-gritty and like talk about energies and everything. But I know not everyone's like that. Like, I get that. But I am going to encourage you, if you haven't tapped into that side of essential oils or herbs or energies, honestly, there's a benefit to every single essential oil and emotions and spirituality. So, and all of us have resources. So reach out to people who have resources. Also this baby powder thing. I know we need to get off the topic of Roman chamomile because we need to go to other oils, but how cool that you can make your own baby powder. That's
And it would
amazing.
smell so good.
Yes, lavender and Roman chamomile, so soothing to like a little baby's bum that's been in a diaper all day.
Yeah.
Okay, black spruce.
I use the book this is what I'm going off of, is my Modern Essentials book. And just like Sid and Eden already said, like there's so many resources, there's so many books, depending on how you want to use your oils. Like Sid likes the voodoo stuff and I like the science stuff. But in this science book, there's also historical uses. So what Eden was just talking about with like frustrating with her feelings when she was like wanting the Roman chamomile. In Roman chamomile, like in, I think it was ancient Romans, they used it to clear their mind and for empowerment. And so like we all know essential oils go way back before all of us beautiful people here existed, and people use all of these oils for a reason. And I think that there is a good reason to lean into that, like Sid does a little bit. And if you want to stay more on the science side like me, still be open-minded, because it can totally help your emotions. So just had to have that. Okay, black spruce is the most amazing smelling oil. It is straight up the Christmas tree. It is actually
smell super fresh. It's like a fresh Christmas tree.
Yes. Like I just chopped it down. This is actually distilled from the needles and the branches of the tree. This one's also, like I mentioned, soothing to the skin. It helps calm and relax you as you diffuse it or apply it on topically. This one you cannot ingest, and it promotes feelings of clear, easy breathing. And it also is like a very balancing, like feelings of balance. So Eden talked about like with the wild orange, if you want to be uplifted, sometimes if we're like feeling flighty, we want a grounding one. I love that this is like balancing of the feeling. So if maybe you're like, I don't even know how I feel, I'm feeling everything, especially around the holidays, maybe keep black spruce on your hands, or in your diffuser if you have family over, because this is a really just like awesome smelling oil. And then also in this book, it talks about how it can help you release emotional blocks. And Sid has recommended a book. What's that called? I lost my book.
Elements of Emotion.
Yes, Elements of Emotion. I wanted to look up this and I didn't have time because I can't find my book. But I think I don't know. I just feel like the holidays cause a lot of chaos. Maybe it's just me. I just love to talk about my chaos, I guess. But if you're feeling it too, I feel like these are the oils that you can reach for. Roman chamomile, black spruce.
Black spruce is so good. It's
Yeah.
one that I feel like is so strong. Would you agree? Like you only need one drop.
Yeah. It also says it's really cleansing. I have never put it in
Okay.
It's disinfecting actually.
Interesting. I would have never used black spruce as a disinfectant, to be completely honest.
It's antibacterial, anti-infectious, anti-inflammatory. So you can also put this in your glass cleaner and spray it like what Sid said with the cassia. I feel like cassia and black spruce mixed together would be such a beautiful smelling Christmas, multi-purpose spray that you could do right now around your house.
Okay, put that in the chat because I need that. Also, I know no one likes patchouli, but Sydney Sheriff. Wildflower, black spruce, grapefruit, and patchouli. I will diffuse this for all of us. Eden will hate me. And
That should be called wildflowers.
Eden's like, don't diffuse patchouli.
I diffused patchouli one time and it ruined my diffuser forever and forever. I only smell patchouli. Like it's been a year and I will diffuse anything and I'm like, patchouli, my Huga diffuser's on. I can smell it. I'm just kidding.
One of those.
It's just not for me.
I love it. Sam has one of those lava rock bracelets that he like puts all of his oils on, and he did vetiver, patchouli, and adaptive on it today. And I smelt it, and I thought I was in heaven. I was sniffing. I was like, oh my God, oh my gosh, this is incredible. Like I could not believe how amazing it was. And then the whole time I was like, why is Eden broken? Like who hurt her?
And I know I probably have an emotional tie to patchouli or something like traumatic happened in my past or something.
I know you did.
Oh my gosh. It's so bad.
I love it. Okay, Copaiba now.
Okay, Copaiba. This one, we all know that people a lot of the times will compare Copaiba to CBD oil. I have this really awesome article that I will send to any of you who want it or ask who invited you here, and I'll send it to them and they can send it to you. It's just a really great short read. There's been a podcast on it, but it's really short and it just says Copaiba versus CBD. And I got a lot of this information I'm about to share with you from this article. But there's this guy, Sid might know him, I don't, Scott Johnson. He is the director of education and training. He said people naturally want to compare CBD and Copaiba, but it's not really a fair comparison. Copaiba has benefits that can't be achieved with CBD. So, there is more of the science of this, and I feel like I might butcher this, but I'm going to explain it a little bit. There's some receptors in your body, and there's let's see, I wrote them down. The CB1 and CB2. So with Copaiba, they have scientifically discovered that Copaiba actually can attach to your receptors. So when you are feeling any sort of flightiness and anxiousness and unsettledness and even feelings like actual feeling of like pain and inflammation and anything going on that's disrupting your normal immune system, Copaiba can help you by the oil is recepted onto your nervous system and it can help. So anyone who has any sort of chronic pain or joint pain, nerve damage, anything like that, Copaiba is an amazing anti-inflammatory oil. So it's going to help you physically, but then also emotionally. And this is where they've studied it a lot with Copaiba. I know CBD people use it for emotions as well as a little bit of physical, or other way around, more physical and a little bit emotional, but Copaiba is also studied a lot for the emotional side of it. And it's really good for like your mood, like I already said, and it's also good for like relaxation and appetite control, which I didn't know that. I don't know if any of you guys knew that, but it's also good for promoting clear and smooth skin. And I create a serum for my little boy's eczema, like I already mentioned, and as well as for my face. And I love copaiba on my face. They also have copaiba in a touch. So if you're ever looking into that, it's really good for like rashes. And I use it on my little boy's eczema, and it's like amazing. I love copaiba touch so much.
I had no idea copaiba was good for appetite control. That's so interesting. I haven't heard of that before. How cool.
Yeah, I know.
Copaiba has easily become one of my, probably my very most recommended oil over the past years. When someone's like asking for a blend for anxiety or a blend for eczema, or, you know, sore muscles, copaiba is in every single one of those blends. Would you guys agree with that? Like,
yes.
it is so versatile. It's good for skin. It's good for inflammation. It's good for overwhelm or feelings of stress. And it really is like an oil that does it all. So I loved that copaiba was
Cognitive function. I forgot to mention that too. I didn't realize. I would not, if someone said, what can I use for cognitive function? I would not think copaiba, but it's also listed on there.
Yeah,
I think of copaiba as like frankincense's brother.
Yeah.
Because it's so, like you said, it's so versatile.
Absolutely.
For so much. It's amazing. Also, copaiba is, Fawn says, helps my knee pain with the roll on around my kneecap.
Absolutely.
Good one. It kind of smells really earthy and not in a bad way. It smells like good dirt. I shouldn't be saying that, but it does.
It does smell like good dirt. You're so right.
It
So
does.
I actually will do a drop under, because I homeschool my kids. And when I'm trying to do school with them, they're not focusing. They're kind of just like squirrel, you know, they're not doing what I'm telling them to do. I'll actually put a drop of copaiba underneath their tongues. And it just kind of helps like bring them back down to earth and like focus on what's in front of them. So
that's so awesome. All right. I want to hear what Shailene says. The chemical in copaiba beta. No one's going to read that. Attaches to receptor sites within the body and sets off incredible benefits. Copaiba is one of my favorites. I cannot live without. Yeah. I just love the science that doTERRA has invested with their oils. It's really inspiring. Okay, deep blue. Let's talk about deep blue, Eden.
Okay, guys, I'm going to talk about deep blue real quick. I have them right here.
Why do we have the deep blue oil and the deep blue rub? Yeah. So you can just talk about both of them.
Yep, I will. They go hand in hand. Why do we have to hold them when we talk about them? Whitley, I'm like, I need to hold this while I talk about it. And I actually was like, I want to talk about deep blue right now. So when you think about deep blue, and if you look on the website or you're like, what can I use deep blue for? If you Google it, it's going to come up with like pain and inflammation. That is like what deep blue is for. It is an incredible anti-inflammatory blend that doTERRA has created. So think of anything to do with your body. If you work out and your legs are sore, if you have restless leg syndromes, growing pains for your kids, you can rub this all over. You should dilute the oil though, because it is like, it has that icy hot sensation because peppermint is one of the main ingredients in it. But over the years, as I've really started to use my deep blue, I honestly use it for way more than just pain and inflammation. Yes, it is for pain and inflammation. We use it for all the things mentioned. My husband has horrible knees. We use it on his knees with copaiba for sure. Like such an awesome duo together. We use it for menstrual cramps. But my favorite way to use deep blue, there's two things. First off, headaches and migraines. My husband suffers from migraines. Like every few months, he just has a completely debilitating headache. And deep blue has been one of the only things that has helped him to get out of those migraines. You can just put some, I like to just like put it on my finger like this. And okay, when it comes to diluting, I actually, like, I'll be honest, I'm terrible at diluting. And the only reason I tell you this is like, you're not going to do it wrong. So don't be afraid to use your oils. Use your oils. Diluting does two things. A carrier oil will help make the sensation more gentle. And then it will also help carry your oils into your body so that you absorb more of it. It dilutes the sensation, not the effect. So yes, you should dilute your oils, but maybe if you don't do it all the time, you're going to be okay. You're going to live, I promise. So I will just take deep blue on my finger like this, and I'll rub it on my forehead, temples, especially for my husband, and the back of the neck. If you do have other oils, I would recommend pairing it with copaiba. You do have that. And also I like to add extra peppermint into it as well. But that helps so much with headaches. My main thing for Deep Blue, which who was stoked that it came with the stick?
Oh,
I think the Deep Blue
absolutely.
is one of my absolute favorite products. This is my brand new one that I haven't even opened yet. And I'm so happy because I'm almost out of my Deep Blue stick. It's like, I guess like a big chapstick, if you could call it like that. And it has copaiba in it, which is super cool. This Deep Blue stick, okay, I don't feel like I'm allowed like legally to save this, but it saves lives. And I swear it has saved my life. I have horrible asthma ever since I've moved to Florida. I don't know what it is. If the humidity is just like super extreme and I just feel like I'm drowning, but my asthma has just, it got out of hand. I actually had to go to the hospital a few times because I just like could not breathe and it was an emergency. And they, what did they use on me? What is it called? Who has asthma?
Nebulizer.
It was, but what was the drug that they put in it? The steroid.
I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember the name of it either.
Gosh dang it. That's gonna bug me so bad.
I'm gonna Google this and we're all gonna wait an extra 40 seconds for me to Google this because
like,
it's important.
Albuterol?
Yes.
Albuterol. That is what it's called. I had to get albuterol because I couldn't breathe. And I'm like, holy crap, I am gonna pass out. Like I cannot breathe. And after I did the albuterol treatment, I could breathe immediately, but I was like shaky. If anyone's ever had albuterol, it's horrible. I felt like extreme anxiety and my body was shaky and I was like sobbing my eyes out. And I know so many children with breathing issues that have albuterol in their inhalers and take that daily. And it like broke my heart that this is what many people, and especially so many small children, are feeling on a daily basis because they cannot breathe. And I obviously use essential oils, and I was like, I've got to figure out how I can get this under wraps so I don't have to turn to my inhaler. So the Deep Blue stick was the only thing that made so I stopped reaching for my inhaler, which was such a big freaking deal to me. I never wanted to reach for my inhaler. And I would even let it get to the point where my husband would like force it in my mouth. Like, okay, it's to the point, Eden. It's an emergency. You need to do it. But ever since I started applying my Deep Blue stick, I do it like down my airways. I do it kind of like under my boobs, like where my lungs are. And then even on the back of my neck, rub it on my hands and breathe it in. This has been the thing that has made so I haven't reached for my inhaler in over a year now. And I have still had asthma attacks. I had one like last week and I grabbed my Deep Blue. I breathe with it for a little bit. It's not going to be instant like albuterol. Albuterol immediately stops it. But then I have all of these other side effects that really suck. But this, I'm patient with it. I'm able to breathe it in, let my body calm down. This anti-inflammation properties of this helps my airways from constricting so that I can get that airflow back, which is so incredible. It like makes me want to cry. If you deal with asthma or any sort of breathing issue, I know it didn't come in the Bogo box, but I just want to add it right now. This really helped me, but the eucalyptus blend from doTERRA made it next level. And I know that's not in this box, so maybe you're like, man, why are you talking about that? But I promise if you need to add an oil to your list, if you deal with respiratory issues, add eucalyptus to your next order because the Deep Blue stick with eucalyptus on your chest and breathing it in, it's amazing. It saves lives.
Okay,
And the new eucalyptus, it smells so much different than the other one, like the brand new, right?
Yep. The eucalyptus blend, because that comes from is it like 8 or 9 different strands of eucalyptus instead of just one? It's so powerful.
I also want to eat that one.
Yeah.
I don't feel good. It's $21 wholesale. I looked it up because I just sold it to my sister-in-law who needed it. And I was like, I have to have another one. So
it's
you
really,
need it.
really good.
Even if you don't have asthma, I don't have asthma and I need that brand new eucalyptus.
Yeah, it's a great one to like pour in your shower, like Peyton was talking about she does with her breathe. But it's crazy because when I have my asthma attacks, it's like I get super phlegmy. I feel that constriction and I'm like, like trying to cough up like whatever is constricting my airways. And the Deep Blue helps me like relax and the constricting to go down. But the eucalyptus like clears the phlegm. I'm not even kidding. It was like within 20 seconds, I was like, oh my gosh, that really helped me. So those
Isn't
two are
that
amazing.
so amazing? Like, if you're just getting into this or, becoming familiar with your essential oils, it's just so cool being able to grab your eucalyptus or your On Guard or your peppermint instead of, an over the counter or something synthetic. It's just so cool to do that. And Shailene, if you guys haven't read the chat yet, Shailene said, I've been fighting a nasty virus with a gnarly sore throat and my glands have been so swollen. I've been rubbing the deep blue stick up my throat and over my glands and it's been helping so much. There's something going around the world right now during sick season.
There is. Well, that's
Okay.
the thing about these oils. It's that the more you learn about them, the more confident you become in being that healer of your home. And so even for me, someone who has used essential oils their entire life, my mom used them on me as a baby. We never even owned ibuprofen. I just used them my whole life. And to have that aha moment for me, like a year ago with my asthma, being like, wow, I know what to do when an emergency comes, right? Whitley shared a story with her little boy where he had a allergic reaction to eggs, and she totally was in a spot where she could have called 911 or rushed him to the hospital or something like that, but she felt confident with the tools that she had in her own home to help her little boy, and she did, and she was able to stop that allergic reaction. And like, that gives me chills. Like, how cool is that? As the mothers of our home, we're the healers of our home, and we're learning and we're gaining this knowledge, and then we can be confident to care for our kids because we know them better than anyone in the world. We know when they're acting weird, we know when they're sad, we know when they're mad, we know when their poop is a weird color. Like, we know them better than anyone. And that's what these calls are for, to empower you to just remember that and know that you know best for them. And as you learn about these tools, you'll be able to apply them in your home and have the confidence to just know what ones to reach for and how to help your family.
That is the best. And I had no idea that your little boy, Whitley, had an allergic reaction. I feel like I should have sent flowers or something. Like, I didn't know about this.
I almost can't talk about it without crying because I remember it was very traumatizing, like for all of us, and it happened so quickly. And I just want to echo what Eden said, like when I became a mom 5 years ago, I never really felt confident of like, I am the mom, I will decide. You know what I mean? I never really felt like a mama bear. I wanted to, but I just had this like, I'm the mom. You know what I mean? Like, I just was never really like that confident. And now after using essential oils, especially that moment with my baby Huey, like I knew what was wrong. I knew what was happening. It had never happened before. I had no idea he was allergic to eggs. And it was like the raw eggs because he's eaten eggs before. And it like that motherly intuition like told me he's having an allergic reaction. And I looked at Tate and I was like, his throat's closing. And in seconds, I knew what oils to grab. And I'm telling you, if I can do that, and if I can have like the confidence now of like, I am their mother, I know what's best, anybody can. Because I feel like I was the one that was like, okay, but don't kiss my baby, please, like on the head, like don't do that, you know? And now I'm like, oh, you definitely will not be kissing my baby. Thank you so much. And I'm still nice about it, you know what I mean? But like, I'm telling you, doTERRA essential oils for mothers is like the best thing in the entire world.
Okay, what did you use? I know that's off topic, but I want to know what you used.
I grabbed about 8 oils. I just thought about, first of all, I thought about the allergy one. So I grabbed peppermint, lemon, lavender. And then I thought inflammation. So I grabbed copaiba. I grabbed, what else did I grab? Obviously the coconut oil, and I was rubbing it on my hands all over. Breathe. I grabbed breathe.
And did you just rub it on his throat and on his chest?
I said, take his shirt off. So he rubbed, and Huey's face was like blotchy red. And he was literally reaching for Tate. And he's like, Dad, Dad. And we were like, and Tate literally said, that's weird. Is he like losing his voice within seconds? And I was like, no, he's not losing his voice within seconds. And I took one look at him. And I was going in and out of my pantry because I was doing toast for my other kids. Because, breakfast, it's not like a restaurant. Everyone doesn't just get their food all at once, right? So I'm still just going in and out and doing stuff. And I was like, he's having an allergic reaction. And so I was like, take his shirt off. And I just grabbed every single oil that I could, rubbed it all over his chest, armpits, back. back of the head, a little bit on his face, and then I have like little stainless steel cups. So I put a teeny bit of water and I did lemon, lavender, and peppermint with like a silicone straw and had him drink it. And within probably, it felt like an hour, but it was probably 10 seconds. He like, his eyes slowly started like not being as puffy. And then he looked at me and he was like, "Mommy." And he could like talk. And it was the scariest thing of my entire life. And I don't have EpiPens. My kids don't have allergies. So if I didn't have essential oils, I legit don't know what I would have done.
Oh,
And
I just have chills.
I know, it was the scariest thing.
Wow. I feel like we all just need to sit on that for a second. Like, oh my gosh, that's like life changing that you had those.
I know. And that happened a couple months ago. It wasn't quite a year ago. I seriously like cry every time because these oils, they seriously will bless your life. They'll bless your body, your kids' bodies. Like it takes work, like it wasn't like my first week using oils and I knew exactly what to use. It had been maybe 4 months, 5 months, maybe four. Like it wasn't that much, but it doesn't take that long to remember, you know, anti-inflammatory is copaiba, and the allergy oils are lavender, peppermint, and lemon. So as you use these, I know it might feel overwhelming in the beginning, but you're going to catch on to what works good, for different scenarios, and you'll be a better mother for sure.
Yeah. And there's so many resources too. And we always do these education hours, but so there's different places you can learn too. That's nice. But let's go to our last oil. Our last oil is Northern Escape. And Northern Escape is one that I use a lot in my diffuser. I make a lot of great blends with Northern Escape. It smells really great. Pair it with wild orange, pair it with cassia. It's a great diffusing oil. There's a diffusing card in this ebook that you'll get. But I was reading up on Northern Escape a couple days ago, again, when I got my Bogo box, and I was learning that it's good for overstimulation and screen time, which I thought was so random. So the essential oils in this blend help your brain calm down when you're feeling really overwhelmed with noises, overstimulation. And how many of us have kids that get overstimulated so quick? Even Wild Bill, who is not like ADD or ADHD or, autistic or have any of these things that he struggles with, he doesn't struggle with that. And he still gets overstimulated really, really quickly. So, when he's doing homework or when he's having his quiet time or when we're working on his reading, I'll just put Northern Escape in our diffuser next to our books or something. Or if I know that it's been like a really busy day for us, I'll diffuse Northern Escape before he gets home from school if I know it's been a busy day for him. So that's kind of one takeaway that I've been learning with Northern Escape is overstimulation. It is a woodland blend. So the essential oils in Northern Escape are going to ground you. They come from trees. They're going to steady your heart. They're going to help with a heavy heart. They're going to help with flightiness and a scattered brain. So Northern Escape can be one for emotions, and it can also be one for breathing because it has those fir and wood oils in it. I saw a really great recipe on this ebook. Was it this one? Winter wax candles. Yes. So if you're filling up for it and you want to get like creative, I saw this winter wax candles instead of getting like a seasonal candle from Bed Bath & Beyond. And if you want to try something fun with like you and your partner or you and your husband one night when you put the kids to bed, I want to make this with Sam. So this is just a really great ebook. If you want the ebook, just message the person that gave you the code. We'll send this out. We'll send it on our hotline text soon. We're going to record this so that you can send it out to friends and family that missed it. But we'll kind of let you get back to your night. Does anyone have any questions or anything they want to add with their Bogo oils? No? Cool. Okay, I'm going to stop